If you've been watching any of my videos, you've probably picked up on a couple things in the background here. It's no secret that I'm a huge Marvel Studios fan, but Iron Man is definitely my favorite. I mean, I've got the mask here. My kids gave me the coffee mug. Dad, I love you 3000. We all dress up on Halloween as our favorite Marvel characters. Well, Marvel has a new miniseries out called What If? And this series explores alternate timelines in the multiverse. And if you don't know what the multiverse is, you're definitely not a Marvel fan. But it's showing what would happen if major moments from all the MCU films, like Black Panther and Captain America and Black Widow, what if those major moments occurred differently? What does the new Marvel miniseries What If have to do with you? What if I told you that the way many business owners are managing their business and personal finances is wrong? Stick around and I'll explain why you've probably been managing your business finances all wrong. Hey, Colin Exelby here, and I provide financial planning for business owners and their families that makes sense. I help you see the forest through the trees, and I'm the owner of a virtual financial advisory practice, Celestial Wealth Management, and provide that advice to families all over the country. This may sound crazy, but the way many business owners have been managing the money in their businesses and their personal finances is probably wrong. I want to share with you a secret that a small group of successful business owners use to unlock their financial freedom and create a legacy for their families. Let me tell you a quick story, business owner to business owner. You see, I own a growing business just like you, so I'm familiar with many of the challenges that you may be facing, especially when it comes to finances. Look, many entrepreneurs, especially new ones, like to brag about how much revenue their business makes, how many employees they have, and the new fancy office space. But the truth is, it's often an excuse to cover up the fact that their business is barely profitable. They wish they could take home more of what they make, but they can't figure out how. They're under constant stress and often are up before sunrise and still working after the kids go to bed. What kind of business is that? The reality is that many business owners are drowning trying to build wealth. You know what's crazy? According to data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, roughly 50% of businesses fail in the first 5 years. And the majority of those that survive keep trying to grow their way to profits by increasing sales. Look, if you aren't wildly profitable out of the gate, the assumption is that you need to sell more. You haven't grown fast enough. Heck, I even believed that midway through my career. Well, if the majority of businesses fail in the first few years, and the many business owners who survive barely scrape by, then why are we continually trusting an old, outdated formula? The formula I'm talking about is this one. Sales minus expenses equals profit. Now, on the surface, the formula makes sense. Sell as much of your product and service as you can. Subtract what it costs to sell it, and what's left over is the profit. Well, here's the problem. There are rarely any leftovers. We think that in order to have leftovers, we need to increase sales. But when we increase sales, we often increase costs even faster, and we still end up without any leftovers. And you know what? We end up working harder for more hours trying to figure out how to sell more. That is a treadmill to nowhere and Einstein's definition of insanity. But what if there's another way? What if you challenged conventional thinking? What if instead of trying to grow into profit, you instead paid yourself first? Now the formula becomes profit equals sales minus expenses. Your brain starts to look at profit differently. Now it isn't a leftover, it's a goal. It's what we're striving for. Pay yourself first. And while you're at it, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any financial planning videos I create. Look, there's a big difference between having a successful business that generates income and one that generates real wealth. What you are about to learn is so incredibly simple that you might just say to yourself, why on earth have I not been doing this? Well, the reason many people aren't doing this, people don't like change. We take advice that was passed down as if it was gospel. It's so easy to keep doing things the old way, even if that old way hasn't worked for you so far and it's slowly draining your energy and your motivation and your bank accounts. The business owners we work with came to us with solid businesses. They knew how to generate money, but many had never learned how to hold on to it, how to control it, and how to grow it. Over the past 20 years, I've worked with business owners of all stripes. I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. And the fact is, many entrepreneurs are living month to month. It might be really good living, but it's still month to month. Without a streamlined process to manage the cash flow and create wealth, we often get stuck trying to sell our way out of the problem. We look for shortcuts and quick answers, especially with our money. We take risks that we shouldn't be taking, we don't protect ourselves from the unknown, and we don't grow our wealth. Our human capital is the present value of all the future cash flows we will make in our lifetime. And if you haven't checked out my video on human capital, make sure you do it. In order to truly achieve financial freedom, we need to capture a portion of that cash flow over time and convert it to financial assets to live on later in life. Many business owners follow the same script. Open a business bank account, open a retirement account for the company, deposit the revenue into the bank account, pay the bills, and hopefully have something left over to contribute towards retirement. Maybe you're one of the successful ones who've been able to save and accumulate some financial assets. But could you be accumulating even more? The solution is not to try and change those ingrained habits. That is really, really hard and, in my opinion, generally impossible to sustain. That's why so many diets and workout programs fail. Instead of changing your habits, change the structure that's around them. That's why I created the Path Toward Prosperity program. You may not know where to begin, but I do. I want you to know you're not alone because I had to learn these systems and processes as well. The Path Toward Prosperity is a 7-step system that I believe can help you optimize your financial life. In step 2, it's all about managing cash flow in the business and your personal life. What if I told you that in the multiverse, you don't need one business bank account, you need a minimum of 5 and ideally 7? What? 7 accounts? Why on earth would I do that? That's more complex, not less, Colin. Well, that's not true. Yes, it takes a little bit more time to set up, but it creates the structure that you may need to amplify your wealth. Those 7 bank accounts all serve a different function. Never scramble to pay the tax bill. Never wonder if you have enough money to pay the bills. Always have enough to pay your salary as the owner. Set aside profits to reinvest in the business and invest for retirement. Create the system. Pay yourself first. This is just the tip of the iceberg of the Path Toward Prosperity 7-step system. There's a lot more detail involved and a lot more that you could learn. The Path Toward Prosperity works because it doesn't try to change who you are. It's a system, a process that's designed to work with you. You don't need to be fixed, but your systems and processes for managing money probably do. I hope this introduction is helpful. If this sounds like your situation, here's what I would like to do. I'd like to invite you to watch a training. It's roughly 35 minutes long, and I reveal the top 5 things that I learned from working with successful business owners over the past 2 decades. I've included a link to the training in the notes below. Simply hit this like button on the video and smash that subscribe button, then click the link below, and I'll know if you do it. Enter your name and your best email address on the very next page, and you can watch the training. So go ahead, click below, and watch this training. If you run a successful business but are paying too much to Uncle Sam, or your revenue keeps growing but you can't seem to keep much of it, or you just feel like you don't have any plan or strategy to grow and preserve your wealth, then this training can help you. And at the end of this training, there'll be an opportunity to book a call with my team. And on that call, we'll see if we can help you implement what I'm talking about in the training. Either way, this training has no cost, and I believe you will absolutely love it. Thank you so much, and I hope to talk to you real soon.